Tamara Basic Tease here, and today I'm going to show you how to add a ruffle to your garment with a piece of elastic. Let's take a look. So here's a little cuff that I made. It's just a big circle. I sewed it together with a serger stitch and I hemmed it a 1/2 inch. Most all my garments I hem a 1/2 inch. So I've taken 2 pieces of elastic that are smaller around than this cuff or the sleeve, and I folded the elastic in half and I've pinned it to the halfway fold mark of this little cuff or band. I did it on both sides. So you're going to take your elastic and you're going to put it at the seam. I usually use an 1/8 inch elastic. For this tutorial, I decided to go ahead and use a 1/4 inch because it was easier to see. Go back and forth. If you were making this for a pair of shorts or a top, instead of pinning it one time, you might pin it another time. You would fold this in half, find the center point here, and pin it here. Because sometimes if you don't, it gets bunchier on one side than the other. But since this is such a small piece, I've just pinned it one time. So you're going to stretch that elastic out and just sew it all the way to the pin. Stretch the elastic out. This is right underneath my 1/2 inch hem point. Make sure the needle's down. I've had people say that when they've put gathers in before, it messed up and the thread got all bunched up, and it was because the needle wasn't down on the elastic. So now you're going to take the other end of that, you're going to overlap it on top to the other side elastic right there, and you're just going to pull on it. Make sure the needle's down. And there you go. You've got a little ruffle on the bottom of that sleeve or shorts or whatever. You can see that little ruffle. I do prefer an 1/8 inch. It hides the elastic a little bit better. I just had some extra 1/4 inch elastic. So we'll do it one more time. You're going to take the end of the elastic. I pinned it halfway. You're going to put it on the other side. Sew back and forth. And you're just going to pull on it and sew all the way through. Make sure the needle's down when you get to the halfway point, so when you pull on it again, it won't mess up the thread on the machine. You're going to take the end of it, put it to the other side, and you're just going to pull on it. Now, there may be an easier way to do this. There may be a foot attachment that you can add to your sewing machine that makes this easier, but this is how I've always done it, and I am self-taught. You could use a stretch stitch for this. You could use a zigzag stitch or any other stretch stitch on a home machine. I hope you've enjoyed this short little tutorial on how to add elastic to make a ruffle. Here's the little poof we made. If you're interested in what I'm dishing out, go ahead and subscribe.